Hello and welcome to the next lesson, which happens to be the Windows Movie Maker and iMovie tutorials. Today I'm just going to talk to you about how to use Windows Movie Maker and iMovie to generally bring everything together. You already should have your audio recorded and you should have a couple pictures taken. If not, there's going to be time at the end of class for you to do so, but if you want to bring some files in, just click here where it says click here to browse for photos and videos. But wherever your files may be, if you have an SD card or a USB drive, it should pop up on this left hand side. Find it. I just have everything on my desktop. You can drag and just select multiple items here, click open, and it instantly brings in these two images. I just use stock images I found off the internet, and they are dropped right into the timeline. Now for audio, you will have to do a little something different. You'll have to drag and drop, so if you need to, you can go to your folder finder and find it similar to how you would on the screen before. But for audio, you just drag, hold it, hover it over the movie maker, and then where that gray line is that's moving right above the mouse, that's where it'll drop. So I just use a quick audio I found on the internet, and if you want to change where it starts, where it ends, it's all Audacity files and it should be cut together. Probably using Audacity would be your easiest bet. So that way, now it's all brought into the timeline. If you need to change the duration of these clips, you click on the photo, click on Video Tools, and then there's a duration timer. You can either select one of these durations or say I want 5.5 seconds. You can just type in 5.5, hit enter, and then the duration is going to be 5 seconds and a half second in addition. And then the other one's left the same. You could do the same to the other one if you want them all to be the same length. Say it's 550. And then for animating it, you're really not going to want to use anything like this. There should be a cross dissolve. Here's a fade, a blur. You could use a blur, or you could use a blur through black. Here I do believe is the cross dissolve. So then you can just double click on that, and it should automatically be placed into the photo, so that way it just cross dissolves into the next one. Then when you're done with that, if you want to export it, you go to File, you can Publish Movie, and we're just going to do Save Movie. That's where we're going to go, and then we're going to go to, just for a computer, will be adequate. Keep the settings at default. That should be good for the purpose that we need it for. And then go to your desktop if you want to save it there. Just name it whatever you want. I'm just going to keep it as iMovie. Click on Save, and then it automatically saves the video and everything that's on your timeline straight to whatever destination you have it set at. So that's Windows Movie Maker in a nutshell. On to iMovie. Moving on to the iMovie portion of this lesson. To do this in iMovie, to start off, to drag in the photos, you kind of just have to drag the iMovie window down a little bit to reveal wherever you have your images on your desktop. If you need to find them, you can go to your Finder and find them accordingly. So just drag them onto your desktop or wherever they may be, and then you can drag them straight into the iMovie. It'll automatically add the stills to the project, and that way you can also, since you're in the same area, wherever you have your audio from Audacity, which should be most likely on your desktop, you can drag that in as well. If you just drag that in straight over the photos, it will kind of act as a play through the entire timeline. But if you want to just drag it for one specific clip, if you drag it directly over the photo, it can drag in that way. It gives you a little bit more playroom where you can move it around, similar to the same style that you could in Windows Movie Maker. So you can just hit the plus button, it'll realign itself. Cross dissolves and things of that nature will be found in this tab right here, the Transitions tab. Cross dissolve and cross blur will be the ones to use between photos. You can fade to white or black at the end and beginning if you feel the need to, but generally speaking, cross dissolve and cross blur are going to be where you want to go. Now to set the duration of the stills in iMovie, click on one, click on this little settings cog if you will, and then you can go to clip adjustments, and then you can change the duration manually of the still. So say I want it 7 seconds, click on 7, type 7 in, And if you want to apply to all stills, you can just click on this here button. If not, keep it unchecked. So this one is now 7 seconds. It adds the 0.2 to compensate for the dissolve. And then if you want the other one to say be 9 seconds, highlight, type in 9, click done, and that's essentially it. Now you see that it has a Ken Burns effect right now. If you want that to go away, you can go to cropping, Ken Burns, and rotation. You can allow black, which will make the whole image in. And if you want it to fit, you can just click fit. If you want to crop part of it, you can kind of crop it a little bit to a certain area. Or if you want Ken Burns, you can do so to give a starting and ending point. This here button, I do believe, rotates it. And you can click here to switch the start and the end. So that's iMovie in a nutshell. You can move the audio accordingly as well amongst your images. And when you're done with that, you go to File, or Share rather, and then you click on Export Movie. Then you can save it on your desktop again, most likely will be the best bet. Leave it as whatever it is, usually large or HD 720 will be your best bet. 1080 is going to be too big of a file size for what we need for, and medium and mobile might be a little bit lower quality than we need. So I'm just going to leave everything at default, just click export, and that is iMovie. Now if you want to add text, I'll cancel that. You can just click on the text title, and you can kind of drag in some text over the still, and you can add text that way. That also works for adding in your credits and citing your sources as necessary. You can also find some sound effects and basic audio underlays in the audio tab here, and that will be audio overlays that you can use to back up your conversation if you want to. So that's iMovie in a nutshell. Any questions, you can email me. My email is on the class list as well as on D2L, and any other slideshows or this video in addition to some other ones will be on the D2L content page. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class.